So one of the things that you'll need to know for your test and for your final test and for your speech is the idea of coordination and subordination. Now you may have heard this term from English grammar because we have coordinate phrases and subordinate phrases, and that's actually really close to what we're talking about in speech giving. Coordinates are equal points. Subordinates support the coordinates. The way I like to think about this is that your thesis is like the boss, your coordinate points are your managers, and your subordinate points are your workers. Now it's actually more complex than that because you have the fact that all of your coordinate points have to be of generally equal length. Think about it this way. Have you ever had like two really good bosses and then one kind of bad boss and how that one really sticks out? And then also all of your subordinate points have to coordinate with each other. So there's a little bit more complexity, but for the sake of the test and the things that you need to know for this course, just know that coordinate points are generally your main points and subordinate points support that coordination. All right. Now, why do I bother to take up your time with this? Well, that's because when you really think about coordination and subordination, what you're addressing are issues of unity, balance, and cohesion. And these are three things that I will be grading you on when you do your final speech. So let's start with unity. Unity is the idea that all of your pieces are working together to support your thesis. So for example, if I say, owning a cat is wonderful because they are relatively low maintenance, they're easy to take care of, and, you know, they're better than dogs. Well, the better than dogs is basically opening up a whole can of worms, right? That's a whole other speech entirely. So we would consider that point to be out of unity. Cohesion normally happens to me. Now this can happen in main points too, but cohesion normally happens inside the main point. So, for example, maybe you're not fully addressing all of the main point, you're not solving it, or sometimes maybe your details are really random. This happens a lot when people, instead of having really good main points, they have these big, overly general boxes. So, for example, once I had a speech, and it was on why you shouldn't smoke. And, you know, this is fine. And I was expecting Monroe's motivated sequence or something like that. But instead, the first main point was statistics. And it was literally 2 minutes of this person just reading random statistics about smoking. They didn't have any type of cohesion. They weren't working to prove a point. They were just there. You know, everything in your speech has to serve a purpose. And if it doesn't, then that's an issue that you have to deal with as you write your speech. Okay? So make sure everything is kind of working together and that you've got good unity and good cohesion. The last piece is the easiest one, and that's balance. Balance is essentially that you never spend more time on one section of a speech than you do on another. Now this is a little bit different in terms of intros and conclusions. You don't have to spend as much time on the intro and the conclusion as you do the body. But in general, your intro and your conclusion should be about the same length, and then each of your body points should be as well. The easiest way to get good balance, of course, is to do a good outline, because then you get this nice kind of distant view of what the speech looks like. It's also one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of manuscript speeches, unless you also take time to do an outline as well. Because the outline lets you really see that unity, balance, and cohesion from kind of almost like a sky view. So make sure you know coordinate, subordinate points, and unity, balance, and cohesion, and you'll be good to go. See you in the next video.